What's going on, guys? It is Wednesday, and you guys know what that means. That means it is time for the Movie Idiot Show. We do it every single Wednesday right here on my Movie Idiot channel. We also go live on Facebook as well, and I'm excited. I'm excited for today's show. We're going to talk movies, movie news, TV shows, and a lot of whatever you guys want to talk about, which is always good. So we're going to get right to it. So if you guys haven't watched the show before, basically the way it works is it works kind of like this. I talk about main topics for the show. And I usually have about 5 of those. And then after I get through all the main topics, so the main, current movie news going on, then I get to your guys's viewer questions, your live submitted viewer questions. And there's a couple of ways you can submit live viewer questions. You can submit them via Facebook and or Twitter at Movie Idiot 1. Or you can do this, which is the best way to submit your live viewer questions. You can tip. You can send in a tip to streamlabs.com/movieidiot. And when you send in your live viewer tip, viewer question or comment with a tip, your question gets answered first before the other people, because you are special like that and you help support the show. So that's how we do it. And we're going to get right to it here. We got quite a few topics to get to today, so I'm going to jump right in. Let's see here. First topic, main topic number 1. Main topic number 1 for today is John Wick 5 confirmed by Lionsgate. Sequel will be shot back to back with the 4th installment. So they're going to be shooting John Wick 5 back to back, 4 and 5. So basically, this is confirmed. We're getting John Wick 5 along with John Wick 4. I am stoked. I'm so happy, you guys. If you guys haven't seen John Wick by now, I don't know what you're waiting for. This movie is awesome. And this whole series is awesome. Dude, just John Wick 3 alone was just an extravagant, beautiful masterpiece of action cinematography, in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Sorry, guys, I gotta fix my mic here. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. So basically, according to the article here, Keanu Reeves is back-to-back sequels. John Wick 5 aiming to film next year. Lionsgate said on an earnings call, he said, "We're also busy preparing scripts for the next 2 installments of John Wick franchise. John Wick 4 is slated to hit theaters on Memorial Day of 2022. We hope to shoot both John Wick 4 and 5 back-to-back when Keanu becomes available next year." The cool thing about that is there's a few cool things about that. First of all, it's going to help save money, which in this climate, with the movie climate the way it is, that's a good thing for Lionsgate. Lionsgate's not a huge studio, so they need to do some things to save money. So that's definitely a good thing for them. Also, movies that are shot back to back like that means they have a definitive plan, most likely. So it's not like they don't know what's going to happen in both movies, which means that the movies are going to flow very well together. So if you look at movies like Infinity War and Endgame, those movies were shot back to back, and it's because they had a definitive, plotted out plan on what they were going to do with them. And really, when that happens, the winner is us, guys. The winner is us. We win. We get awesome movies with great storylines, and it's a win for everybody, I think. Win for Lionsgate, win for us, the fans. Yeah, so what do you guys think? John Wick, again, shooting back to back, and we are confirmed for a John Wick 5. Are you guys excited for John Wick 5? Are you excited for John Wick 4? Do you not like John Wick? Have you not seen John Wick? Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts, and we will get to our next topic. Main topic number 2. And this one's probably going to be a bit of a long one here. Main topic number 2. This is about the impact of getting rid of the Paramount Consent decrees. Now, you may be asking yourself, what are the Paramount Consent decrees? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. So, back in the 30s, the government, in order to kind of minimize monopolies for studios and movie theaters, put out these consent decrees. It was aimed at Paramount. I guess Paramount was like the biggest violator or something. But anyway, the point being is that they put out these consent decrees to keep movie theaters from owning, or keep studios from owning movie theaters, to cut out monopolies. So not, the studios can't have a monopoly on the entire movie business. So this article here by Hollywood Reporter really outlines a lot of what this is. So it says here, if government rips up the decades-old restrictions to movie licensing, will Disney or Warner Brothers force exhibitors to take lesser films? Will small theaters no longer have access to big-budget tentpoles? So there are a lot of kind of fears with this. And let me read here. I have a Facebook conversation that I actually want to read. It's a friend of mine. I'm not going to list anybody by name or anything like this, but I'm going to kind of read through the conversation, just some of the thoughts and comments that were going on. This friend of mine is based in Los Angeles, and they actually have some ties in the Hollywood area. So I am going to just kind of go through this here. Give me 1 second to pull it up, because I definitely wanted to... let's see here. Here we go. So, basically in their post, they posted the article, just about, the consent decrees, and how consent decrees are going to could possibly mean the elimination of theaters in general, due to the fact of studios owning them. So, somebody comments on a moot point, theaters are going extinct. I put the over under at 5 years. And then, let's see here. Here we go. I said why, because somebody was, commenting on why, they were worried about that. And this person here says, it becomes a closed market. If major studios have their own theaters, then Regal, AMC, Marcus, etc. will go under. I want to watch a Marvel or Star Wars movie. Better pay $30 at Disney Theater because that's your only option. Want to watch a new Batman movie? $25 at the Warner Brothers Theater. You eliminate competition from exhibition portion of the films. It was a huge problem back when the studios ran the entire system, which is why they created the laws to prevent it from happening. But I guess the country loves stepping backwards. So that was the comment that my friend had put out there. So I have a rebuttal to that, but I definitely wanted to read that because he's definitely in the area and does work in the movie business. So my rebuttal to that is simple. Theaters right now, and studios right now don't want to own movie theaters. Here's the bottom line. As Cordova says, hi Cordova. Here's the bottom line. Studios do not want to own theaters. Theaters have razor thin profit margins as is. So they're not making a lot of money. Obviously, they're not making any money off the tickets. And then on top of it, they have to charge exorbitant amounts of money for all your concessions just to make money. I mean, before the pandemic, AMC posted their first profit in years. They're $5 billion in debt. That's why they might go under. The studios have no interest in this. Really, they don't. Like, they flat out, like, there's no reason for them to get in. They would have to spend a ton of money just to do that, and they'd probably never make it up with the razor-thin profit margins that they have. Even if they owned the theater and exhibited only their own movies, which is also dumb. You don't want to do that because you're not going to draw bigger crowds. People aren't going to go for that. Plus, with all the streaming wars and everything, that right there will drive people away from theaters and basically staying home, downloading VODs and whatnot. Which, in spite of what you may think, studios do not want. Disney last year made $11.9 billion exhibiting movies in movie theaters. They won't come close to that doing VODs. They won't come close to that with Disney Plus. This is not the real issue with the getting rid of the Paramount Consent decrees. But there is an issue. There is an issue. Part of the Paramount Consent decrees was the fact that studios can do something called blocking. And what that is that let's say movie theater A, they want to show a movie like Endgame from Disney. Well, Disney can go, okay, you want to show Endgame? Cool. Yeah, you can. But you also have to show 5 other movies that we have, including Artemis Fowl 2, 8, 7, 9, and 4. So in order to show Endgame, you have to show all these garbage movies as well and keep them in the theater for 5 weeks. With the decrees in place, they can only negotiate 1 movie at a time. Without the decrees in place, studios can hook theaters into having to play shitty movies for a long time, and that is a problem, because then some of your lesser known studios, they're not going to get as much of a chance. They're just not. That's the bigger issue, in my opinion. Not studios owning theaters. They don't want those. The studios do not want theaters. They don't want anything to do with movie theaters. The bigger issue is the consent decrees, or is the blocking. Now, will studios do that? Who knows? Most of the studios have had a pretty good relationship with NATO, the North American theater organization, not the other NATO. So most of the studios have had a pretty good relationship. And these studios want movies in the theaters. They do not make the money that they would have made. They don't make money on VOD compared to what they make in theaters. So they might be nice about it, but there's a good chance they might not. And that's a big thing. So it's the blocking, I think, that I'm more worried about than anything else. But anyway, that's kind of, a long-winded explanation as to, why and some of the problems with the Paramount consent decrees and whatnot. But basically, the government felt, and the reason it was gotten rid of is because the government felt that the law was antiquated. They basically felt like this law doesn't need to be there anymore because there's so much competition in the studio sphere. You have Universal, Paramount, Disney, Warner Brothers, and then so many smaller ones too. The A24. There's so many little studios too, comparatively. Lionsgate's another one. So plenty of studios out there, plenty of competition. So the government felt like they can get rid of this. But again, like, in my opinion, just kind of wrap it all up, I don't think the big fear is studios owning theaters. I think the big fear is studios going to theaters and saying, sure, you can have Avengers 5, but you also have to take Lady and the Tramp 3, 4, and 5 as well. That's a possible problem, and that's the one thing I don't want to see. But what do you guys think? Do you think studios are going to hold these theaters, hostage, basically, or do you think that they're going to play ball and be nice now that these laws and these decrees, the Paramount decrees, have been eliminated? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on that, and we will go to our next main topic. And the next main topic is this. Speaking of Disney, Disney will stop releasing 4K physical media from its live-action catalog. Following the release of Hocus Pocus and Home Alone on 4K, Disney will stop releasing library titles in Ultra HD. It basically says here, fans of physical media have been dealt a major blow. The company has reported no longer releasing 4K copies. This means the classic Disney movies, as well as a huge collection of movies the company has inherited part of the Fox merger last year, will not be making it to 4K Ultra HD. That's a huge thing. So basically, according to the report, the company will only be releasing new animated Disney movie, Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel titles on 4K in the future. That's a big thing, because there are movies that Fox has that are not on 4K, or had, that are not on 4K and never will be now. True Lies being one of them. That's one of my favorite action movies of all time. All time. Amazing, by the way. If you've never seen True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, such a good movie. So great. It's directed by James Cameron, who did Terminator, did Avatar, did Titanic. Such a great movie. Not in 4K. Can't find it anywhere in 4K. Ultra HD. Can't find it. Not available. And now it never will be. unless it's streamed on some kind of service. So that's huge. Why do this? Well, Disney's always been on the forefront of this kind of stuff. Disney was the first to back out of VHS, the first to back out of, DVD, the first to, Disney always takes those steps and jumps ahead of everybody else, and they want to be. Disney is proud of that lineage of being on the forefront of that. And look, the forefront is streaming. For home use, it's streaming. Why have the physical media? They don't need it. It costs them money to make those discs and make all that stuff and send it out. They don't need it anymore. They have Disney Plus now. They have VOD releases. They don't need it. So why do it? See, part of me really hopes they reconsider some of it, though. Because, again, right now, I couldn't even tell you where you can find True Lies. Don't know where to stream it. If any of you can tell me, please let me know. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know. I don't know where you can find True Lies right now. And that's a problem. And that is why I'm kind of bummed about this, because I really kind of would like them to reconsider it. Maybe have a third party do it. You don't have to do it. Just source it out to a third party. You can make a little money off of it. I mean, I feel like that'd be a good thing, because some of those old Fox titles, especially, and even some of the old Disney titles, feel like should have, 4K release. But yeah, I mean, so I would buy a True Lies 4K right now, right effing now, without even a thought. So, but that's just me. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think Disney should have backed out of the 4K physical media platform, or do you think that they should not have? Again, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on that. And we are going to go to our next main topic. Main topic number 4 is Cineworld CEO says Regal Movie Theaters is gearing up for August 21st reopening. So, as of right now, all the theaters actually are scheduled for August 21st reopening. So, it's looking, according to this article, it's looking as if they're going to stick to it. So, Regal is looking to move forward on this August 21st opening. Mookie Greidinger, CEO of Cineworld, which owns Regal, said in an interview with the Associated Press on Friday that its screens are set to reopen on August 21st after several plans for reopening have been postponed to COVID-19 spikes in various cities. For their efforts, Greidinger said grave attention will be paid to safety protocols and sanitation efforts, and mount up to the big day that will require employees and patrons to wear face coverings and exhibit social distancing. Again, it will require workers and patrons to wear face coverings in the theaters. So, what does this mean? This is good news, guys. This is because before, because the theaters have been saying, oh, we're going to open on this day. And then they don't. And then, there was another date. Oh, we're going to open this day. And they don't. This is a definitive stance by Regal saying we are opening August 21st. We are committed to this day. And I couldn't be happier, you guys. I am so jonesing for a movie. It's ridiculous. It's gotten to the point, I need movies, you guys. I need movies. Totally cool with going to the theater. I will have my little face mask on because that's what I gotta do to go. But I don't care, man. I want to go. I want to get my popcorn. I want to watch my movie. And, they're going to social distance everybody. They're going to get, they're going to space out the seats. And I'm good with that. Dude, I go to the grocery store right now with a mask on. What's the difference at this point? I am ready for movies. I am stoked, you guys. I am so stoked. But this is a great sign, I think. This is a great sign. This is a major theater chain, again, stepping out and saying, hey, we are committed to the exhibition of movies. We are going to open August 21st, come hell or high water. Obviously, there are some states and cities and whatnot that won't allow them to open completely. But for the most part, they're opening, which is good because that means Tenet, which is coming out September, I think 2nd, the Labor Day weekend. Tenet is scheduled to come out Labor Day weekend. I finally feel confident that we're going to get Tenet on Labor Day weekend, a new movie. And that is amazing, you guys. But really, it's about you. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited? Do you think that, Cineworld stepping out, Regal, the second largest theater exhibitor in the world, do you think them stepping out and saying, hey, we are committed to reopening August 21st, do you think that that means that they are actually committed to reopening August 21st and they will open? Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts on that. And we will get to our final main topic of the day. And this one, kind of a somber one. I feel like every week I've been doing kind of a somber one. But yesterday was the, this is an older article, but it was the only one I can find that I kind of wanted to, show Mork. But yesterday was the 6-year anniversary of the passing of Robin Williams. I typically, first of all, Robin Williams is my favorite actor of all time. I remember the first time I ever saw Robin Williams, and the reason why I wanted this particular picture, was on the Mork and Mindy show. Like, Nanu. Like, dude, that dude, like, as soon as I saw him, blew me away. There's never been a guy like him, and there never will be again, I don't think. Just a phenomenal talent. And early on it was a lot of comedy and stuff, but then, you start getting things like Dead Poets Society, Good Will Hunting, just Insomnia. Like there are just so many movies that he has done. He is just, Patch Adams is such a great movie. Even the one he did with Cuba Gooding Jr., it wasn't the greatest movie, but like he was really good in it. But yeah, I mean, it just a guy, an actor who, as Cordova jumps in and says, R.I.P. Robin Williams, just such a versatile actor. He's so great. And also, and I always say, he was a pleaser. He was a guy who came out and really, dedicated his life and his passion to making people laugh and making people happy and entertaining people, and just a phenomenal human being, phenomenal actor, phenomenal talent. And he's my favorite actor of all time. And also his stand-up is amazing too. If you guys haven't seen his stand-up, top notch, awesome. Oh, so good. His explanation of golf might be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. YouTube that shit, you will not regret it. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so his death, because I'm not a huge celebrity death guy. Like, they don't get to me that much. His did because, well, not just the circumstances, but just who he was in general too. And he was such a geek too, dude. He named his daughter Zelda. I mean, like, I'm a huge Zelda guy, so like he was a video game nerd. He loved video games. He dude, just what a great guy, amazing talent again. And so he is always missed, and I just felt remiss that I definitely had to. I know I talked about him fairly recently because it was his birthday, but I still felt on the 6-year anniversary of him passing away, I felt like I should just cover that. And again, like my favorite Robin Williams movie. I have a special place for Aladdin. I love Patch Adams. Patch Adams was so good, and he really just embraced that role, and God, he was so good in that movie. I'd have to say Patch Adams, probably. Dead Poets, maybe close second. But yeah, and then of course Aladdin. Like, Aladdin, just unbelievable. And again, like with the genie, that was mostly off the cuff. He mostly just winged that. And that just showed how amazing he was as a talent. So again, R.I.P. Robin Williams. Every year when this date, I'm just like, I still feel it. Again, like, I'm not a celebrity death guy per se, but like, this guy just gets me every time. So yeah, and that's gonna do it for our main topics today. So we do have a couple of of tip submissions that we're going to get to, so I want to get to those. What are tip submissions, you may want to know? Well, I'm glad you guys asked, because I'm sure you did. Again, as I said, so after we get through the main topics, I start reading all the viewer comments. So I have quite a few viewer comments from Facebook, a little Facebook conversation I was having earlier. Plus, I have a couple of tip submissions that I'm going to go through here. So the first... Wait, how do you send in a tip submission? Well, we're going to go over that again. Tip topics are sent in to streamlabs.com/movieidiots. So that's the best way to send in tips to the Movie Idiot Show, and they're always appreciated because when you send in your comments via tips, your comments get read first, and you support the show, which is the coolest part of the whole thing, and I really appreciate it when you guys do that. So anyway, we're going to get to our first tip topic, and the first tip topic comes from our guy. Love him, Mr. Del Mackey. Del Mackey sent in a $1 tip today, and he said, "Hey, Mike, are you getting excited for theaters opening up? Do you think it'll finally happen? What will you watch?" Well, I kind of touched on that a little bit with the topic that we had. But Del, I am super excited for theaters to open up. And I'm actually hoping, fingers crossed, because there actually is a theater near me up here in Wisconsin that is open. And I want to go. And I also just happen to have a day off with my girlfriend coming up for our 4-year anniversary. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to see yet. Really hope I can see something like Inception or something grand and awesome, like, like a really good movie theater type movie where you have a huge scope of just like movie theater awesomeness. I know we aren't going to get any new stuff yet, but pretty soon, and I'm super stoked for Tenet coming up again Labor Day weekend, and that's going to be amazing. So that's kind of where I'm at. So but thank you for the tip submission, Del. Appreciate it. As always, Del's kind of a weekly tipper, man. So, thank you, Del. You are awesome. All right. Let's get to our next. So one more. I got one more here. This is from Zod. Zod tipped $1. And Zod said, "Hey, have you heard that Ezra Miller will be attending the upcoming DC Fandom's Fandom event? Do you think they will acknowledge the incident?" That's a great question, Zod. I'm assuming Zod's kind of a big DC fan with that name like Zod, right? Well, actually, let's take a look here at DC Fandom. Let's see here. DC Fan. You guys bear with me here. Fandom. We're going to pull that up so you guys can kind of see. I was looking at this earlier. I thought I had it pulled up, but I don't. Here we go. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just pulling up this thing, and that's not what I want. I'm trying to find something with like the guest list, because there's a whole big thing. Everything you need to know about DC Fandom. Here we go. Maybe this will be a better one. This is from Entertainment Weekly. All right, so everything you need to see. Here we go. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. So DC Fandom is almost upon us in a couple of weeks. The superhero publisher will unveil its massive virtual event showcasing The Flash, Wonder Woman 84, Suicide Squad, and so much more. To help you prepare for the whole endeavor, which may seem a bit overwhelming, Entertainment Weekly has put together a handy guide, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's look at boasting panels. Oh, man, did they really? Okay. When is DC Fandom? So the Fandom is August 22nd. And let's see. I'm just trying to find the panels here. I want to see. Here's la 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 la. No. So it's the movie stuff. You'll see Aquaman, Black Adam, Snyder Cut of Justice League. Oh! Shazam, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 84. So here are some creator artists. Let's see. So you're getting Adam Brody, Brian Michael Bendis, those are comic people. So Ezra Miller, The Flash, Willow Wilson, the Dream, Gal Gadot from Wonder Woman, Grant Gustin from the Flash TV show, Idris Elba from Suicide Squad, Javicia Leslie from Batwoman. She's, I think, the new Batwoman. Joel Jones, Catwoman, Kaylee Cuoco, Harley Quinn. I'm assuming that's from the Harley Quinn animated show. Matt Reeves, the director of the new Batman movie. Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman. Robert Pattinson, the new Batman. Tom King, Strange Adventures. Zach Levi from Shazam. Viola Davis, Suicide Squad, and many, 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 many more. But the point here in the question that the person asked, Zod asked, is, do I think that they will acknowledge the Ezra Miller incident? No, I don't think they will. I know a lot of film pundits out there do. I don't. I think they're just going to keep glossing it over. If you guys don't know what had happened with Ezra Miller during the pandemic was in a bar in Iceland. And he got into an altercation with a woman. And he put his hands on her throat and helped her to the ground. Now, a lot of people say he threw her to the ground. I will call it what it was. It was more of a helped her to the ground. Still not good in any way, shape, or form. And you should never put your hands on anybody, especially if you're a celebrity. Yeah. Since then, Warner Brothers and Ezra Miller have not acknowledged anything. No public statements, no anything. Warner Brothers has also fired another person from the Flash TV show for tweets they made 7 or 8 years ago. And that happened after the Ezra Miller thing. So the question, again, coming from Zod, is do I think that Warner Brothers or Ezra Miller will acknowledge this? I think the answer is no. And if they do, it would be a very bloop. There was an incident. We're very sorry. There's an ongoing investigation. We're not discussing it today, kind of thing. That's my guesstimation. Again, I know other film pundits and other people out there think that, Ezra Miller's going to get up there and be like, I'm really sorry. I should have never done that. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. They have not shown in any way, shape, or form that they're going to do that. And honestly, why now? Why do it now? For publicity, oh, yes, I'm going to clean myself up and now you can see my movie. No, dude, come on, man. I don't think it's going to happen, Zod, but I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think that Ezra is going to come out and say, hey, I had a really bad incident and I just want to apologize. That's not who I am. And I want to, make it up to you, the fans, and this person, and blah, 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 and clean up my act. Or do you think they're just going to be like, no comment? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think on that one. And a great question, Zod. That was an awesome one. All right. We're going to get to some of the other stuff here. So I had, like I said, I had a whole Facebook thing going on. Let's see here. So Facebook comments that I have today. Rebecca says, the new Jurassic World trailer just came out, ? Which actually isn't quite true. It's kind of a first look teaser thing. But it came out a while ago, actually. And she said, yep, I guess it's a first look concept, but maybe a comparison between Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. I don't know. It's my favorite series. So Rebecca, yes, I did see now. She posted the link too, so I did see the little teaser that she posted. Looks cool. I love that they brought back Jeff Goldblum. Love it. Totally love it. Comparison to Jurassic World to Jurassic Park. Well, obviously, your special effects are so much better right now. As Claire chimes in and says, yo, Claire, what's up? Obviously, your special effects are better right now with Jurassic World, but Jurassic Park was such a revolutionary movie. Many of you may or may not know that Jurassic Park is the movie that literally said to George Lucas that he can now do the prequels for Star Wars. And say what you want about the prequels for Star Wars. You may love them, you may hate them, but they would not have happened. Those movies would not have happened at all because George didn't think that they had the technology to make those movies until he saw Jurassic Park. So if you're talking about the influence that the movies had on the movie world, every single one of us who saw Jurassic Park in the movie theater when it came out were blown away. Nobody had ever seen anything like that. So if we're talking influence, Jurassic Park wins hands down, Rebecca. But if we're talking better all movie wise, I think that Jurassic World is obviously the better all movie. I think the acting's better, I think the writing's better, I think the cinematography is better, I think the graphics are better, but I definitely do have a special place in my heart for Jurassic Park. So I'm going to say Jurassic Park. I'm a Jurassic Park guy. So as Claire jumped in and said, nothing much, just watching YouTube videos. Cool, Claire. Thanks for joining the show and chiming in. So we're going to go on to our next topic that I had from Facebook earlier, and that comes from David. David said, how about 1980s versus 2000s? Example, Blazing Saddles versus Horrible Bosses. I find this interesting as a change of what is socially acceptable content. Both movies are questionable material that push the envelope. And then I was talking, I also added Airplane maybe as one of those two. He said, yes, it's a great example too. And Caveman, maybe it's just because Ringo Starr is in it. Animal House, the Police Academy movies, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, so as Claire chimed in again, no problem. Anytime. Glad we're friends. I'm glad we're friends too, Claire. So anyway, following up on David's stuff. So David is talking about, he wants kind of a synopsis, the difference between 80s comedies and 2000s. Well, I'd say 2010s and 2020s comedies. So basically, David, I'm going to tell you, the comedies now, of course, are they're not going to be as, I mean, let's face it, the political correctness in the 80s was nothing like it is today. I mean, they just could get away. I say get away, but they can do so much more because it was socially acceptable at the time to do so, which for, depending on your humor level, makes for some hilarious stuff. But if you're easily offended, you're not going to want to watch those movies because it's not going to work for you. There's a lot of scenes and a lot of things that are said in some of those older movies that, they don't work today. They just don't. It just is what it is. And I think that's kind of why you don't see as many comedies. It's just harder to do a comedy for a couple of reasons. Like in the last 4 or 5 years, comedies have, and it's not the quality of the comedies. There's been some really funny comedies. It's the amount. Because the content's been done, and then, like, what do you do to push to the next level, and how do you, top the previous? And if you do cross a line, like, you run the risk of being blackballed out of the industry right now. I mean, and that's a big deal, too. So, yeah, David, I think there's, like, a lot of stuff in the 80s that simply just wouldn't happen today. It wouldn't. As far as which are better, I won't say which are better. There are, dude, some of those movies like Airplane, Animal House, Blazing Saddles. I love those movies. They're amazing. And they definitely, hold a special place in my heart and my childhood. But then again, I love a lot of the new comedies that come out today. Like I appreciate, I mean, I'm a huge fan of The 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I guess isn't that new. Step Brothers, a lot of Will Ferrell movies. There's even been a couple of comedies that come out in the past couple of years that I really enjoyed. The Bad Kids one was pretty funny. Or Good Boys. It's called Good Boys, actually. It's a Seth Rogen produced film. Really funny film. You probably enjoy that one. But anyway, the point being is that, yes, David, to answer your question, I think that they're just simply some things that they were able to do due to the social time in the 80s that they just can't do now. It just doesn't fly. So, yeah, that's kind of, how I feel about that. And thanks for that, David. That's a good topic. And we're going to go on to Jake. Jake says, what about the sex scenes in Showgirls? Oh, my God. Dude, really? Jake? So, I got to tell you, one of my favorite movie lines of all times was in Scream, where they're talking about scary movies, and somebody goes, "Oh, what's your favorite scary movies?" And the guy's like, "Showgirls, absolutely frightening," like just stone faced. It was awesome. So that's the first thing I thought of when I read that, Jake. So that's funny. And so I commented later. I said, "Isn't that a horror movie?" And then finally, our last Facebook comment here that I have. Maybe you've covered it already, but movie soundtracks. Oh, yes, and that comes from Melissa. Melissa, there are so many great movie soundtracks out there. So many amazing movie soundtracks. Now, I don't know if you're talking soundtracks like scores, movie scores, because we can start talking. Okay, so I have some favorites when it comes to movie scores. I am a huge fan of Danny Elfman. Like, big time. He's my favorite movie composer because he's so weird and his scores are so unique. You hear them and you know immediately that's a Danny Elfman score. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's Danny Elfman. The Batman 1985 or 89, Danny Elfman. You hear Danny Elfman and you know exactly that it's him, and he has a certain style and a way that he does his stuff, and it's so awesome. Then you have obviously the greatest. Well, Danny Elfman's my favorite. The greatest of all time is John Williams. There's no debate. Superman, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, the list goes on and on and on. John Williams is the greatest movie composer to ever exist. I definitely love his stuff. And then Hans Zimmer is another amazing one. And then there's some more modern ones now that are coming out too. What's that guy's name? Something XRX. I can't. Damn it. It's killing me now. I can't think of it. But yeah, that guy. And then I think Trent Reznor has gotten it from 9 Inch Nails, has gotten into movie composing. Daft Punk did Daft Punk's composition of Tron Legacy is awesome. Oh my God, I forgot to put it in my topics today. Dude, you guys, Tron, there's going to be a new Tron movie. So it's official. Disney came out and said that they are working on setting up a new Tron movie. So there's going to be a Tron 3. I'm so excited for that too. But anyway, Tron Legacy's soundtrack, its score composition is phenomenal. And that was done by Daft Punk. Just amazing. So if you're talking scores, that's kind of one thing. And then if you're talking soundtracks, like the songs that are in there, that's another. So if you're talking soundtracks, you got Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, that just right there. And the cool thing about that is that soundtrack is like, it's built in and woven into the fabric of the movie. So it's not just that, like, it's the soundtrack in the movie and there's songs in the movie. It's literally the songs are part of the movie. That first scene with Star-Lord, boom, 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 boom. You got, Redbone, come get your love, and he's got the come and get your love. Oh my God, dude. That right there, it sets the tone. It sets the tone for the movie. And that movie, more than any other movie, I've never seen a movie where the soundtrack, or I can't think of another one anyway, and I'm sure there probably is, and you guys, I'm sure, will correct me on this, but I can't think of another movie right now where the soundtrack was like an integral woven part and woven into the fabric of what that movie was. And dude, Guardians of the Galaxy. Melissa, I'm going with Guardians of the Galaxy as my favorite movie soundtrack, hands down. And again, it's because of what it meant to the movie too. Not just because I love the songs on it, but because what it did and how it's interwoven into the movie itself. Guardians of the Galaxy, hands down. That's mine. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. And I think that's the last Facebook comment there. It looks like, and I'm just gonna double check and make sure that we don't have any more. Doesn't look like it. Looking on here, nothing here. All right, well, that's gonna do it, guys. I want to thank you all for jumping in. Appreciate it. All the comments, all the submissions. Again, if you guys want, so for next week's show, again, next week, Wednesday at 9:30 Central Standard Time, we do the show every week, the Movie Idiot Show. If you want to submit for a main topic, nobody's done that yet, so I'm hoping somebody might. If you want to submit for a main topic, absolutely free for a main topic, all you have to do is email me at themovieidiot@gmail.com, and you could submit a main topic for next week's show, and if it's good, it'll be on the show. I'm a little more stringent about those, so you got to really bring it if you're going to submit for a main topic. Otherwise, you can submit any viewer topic anytime, 24/7 with the tip link. So if you are, just hanging out, whatever, and all of a sudden you think of a topic that you want me to talk about on next week's show, just hit it up with the tip link right there, streamlabs.com/movieidiot. And you can send in a tip topic, and then, I will talk about it on next week's show. And again, you can do that 24/7, 7 days a week. You can just click on the, tip link. All the tip links are in every single Movie Idiot video, so you can do that. And, yeah. So, again, I want to say thank you to all of our supporters here. So, the 2 tip supporters today, Del Mackey and Zod. Appreciate you guys for sending in tips. And also, again, you guys can hit me up on Movie Idiot 1, at Movie Idiot 1, Twitter and Facebook as well. And I'm more than happy to reply to you guys on there as well. And that's going to do it for today's Movie Idiot Show, this week's Movie Idiot Show. Don't forget, of course, to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys next week. I hope you all have an amazing week, and we'll talk next week. All right? By the way, next week, movie theaters are opening. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so happy. And by that point, I'll probably have gone to a movie. So I will let you guys know my movie experience in the COVID era. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, thank you. Have a great week, and I am out of here. Peace.